What's up, family?
What's happening?
What's going on, my brothers?
How
What's
you
good?
feeling?
What's good?
Man, another day in that market. Y'all just see what just happened?
What we missed?
It was the hold on, I'm gonna read it to you. I just posted it on my story. Let me see. Justin, the three biggest US airlines to cancel hundreds of flights due to shutdown. American
Yeah,
Airlines,
I did see that.
United Airlines, and Delta.
Mm.
And then right after that, Justin, breaking
Hey,
the United States to block NVIDIA's scale back AI chips to China. Breaking down.
Yeah.
Breaking news.
Yikes.
Yo, it's and we're gonna talk about it today, bro. But bro, it's not none of this shit is a coincidence, bro, that we've been at all-time highs.
Yeah.
We needed a pullback. And these reports should start coming out. You know what I mean? And it wouldn't be a surprise that when they get back in position, now that the government shut down over in the stock market, go back to all-time highs. It's just the way, like, once you start studying how people move, and that's kind of how Trump has been moving. Like, he let the market fall beginning of the year, and he was saying, this is Joe Biden's market.
Mm.
You remember that? This is Sleepy Joe's fault. He did all this, but I'm here to save it.
Mm-hmm.
Once he saved it, now the market's at all-time highs again.
Right.
So it's like you start realizing, and I think I seen Aristotle talk about this as well. He had said that U.S. and China are really best friends.
Mm.
You see Trump and Xi Jinping, oh, I said this, or I said this. He said they use these tactics for the news when the Chinese stock market is at all-time highs or the U.S. market is at all-time highs.
Mm.
I'm like,
Mm.
He said, so when they've been running too hot and going too high, too fast, something to come out that China's blocking something with Trump or Trump is going at China, China's market sells off. Everybody takes profit, they get back in position.
Mm.
With us, we just touched 6,900 the other day.
Mm-hmm.
Now out of nowhere, we can't, China doesn't want we can't ship NVIDIA chips no more to them.
Mm.
I'm like, oh, okay. So you start seeing a pattern like, oh, okay. Government shutdown. Oh, okay. Bro, they can get the government not shut down, bro. Like they can fix that. You know what I mean? And it's just like it just get to a point where you just start seeing the patterns with that shit, bro. And I'm just like, man, that shit crazy. But how y'all doing, brothers?
So it's all good.
man.
How you doing, man?
Good, man.
Another day?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we
Hey,
we all executed today, didn't we?
Yeah.
yes. So,
I ain't hear what he said. I don't even know what he said. But yeah, we all executed today, man. Those levels got hit, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
They got hit,
yeah.
man. And I was saying this in the chat earlier, bro, that Ian Dunlap even said this. Even if it doesn't hit the specific number, 30, 40, 50 points away from the high is way better than buying it at all-time highs.
Sure.
So I think J. Cole asked me, he was like, yo, NVIDIA is at that 190, 190, 191 range. Am I pulling the trigger here? If we seen it went down to 186, 187.
Mm.
Grabbing at 190, 192, 189, 188 is way better than grabbing at 210. So I'm not gonna say it doesn't matter where you get in. It's just important that you don't get in at all-time highs, right? And that's the principle
Yeah.
we trying to get through to people. You know what I mean? Like, yo, I don't care what you do, be patient, wait. There's some new guys that was in the chat that's new subscribe, and they were like, bro, it's Monday, you're not putting in the play. Then Tuesday came, you still not putting in the play. And then Wednesday, they was like, okay, you put the lotto in for VST, but like when we gonna put the plays in? And I'm just like, bro, you gotta understand
Patience.
patience, brothers. You know what I mean? This ain't the trading group where we go get 10% and at 9 a.m. and then we get out the market and then 20% and then we get out and or we down 50% and then nah, most of us we got real shit that we got going on. You know what I mean? So we might not be able to stare at the chart all damn day. You know what I mean? So the benefit of what we're doing is waiting for those entries, waiting to execute, not being greedy, and not being scared. I think Mason had said it earlier, but like he was like, bro, I needed you to say, don't be
Mm,
scared. Like, nah. When everybody green and it's happy, everybody smiling. When it's
mhm,
red, that's when we need to be smiling. It's hitting every target. Like NVIDIA was at 212.
mhm,
It touched 190 today. Like, I don't care if we go down to 185, whatever it go to, we were able to get this on a discount.
mhm.
And that's the purpose of playing this game, bro. So you can play it for the long run. So, but yeah, man, I'm glad we all executed. I'm glad we all in there. Um, what y'all seeing this week? Malcolm, Niles, Lante, Mace, y'all see anything this week? How y'all feeling about this week? Was it a slow start? Was y'all getting upset? Like, how y'all feeling?
Seen
Slow
great
start.
shots.
What'd he say?
I seen great shots this week. Great shots. Patience. That's what I seen. Real patience. Even if it, you know what I'm saying. Don't go the way. Hey, stick to the rules, and
Hmm.
we execute it.
Yeah, I
Love
probably
it.
say the same thing, sticking to the rules, but that kind of I got taught that I say with SMR, where it went up to that the 100% range where that's why I'm trying to stick to the rules of once it hits that target, sell one, let the other one run.
Mm,
And then I got a little greedy on that last week. I'm like, oh, they both at 130%. I'm gonna see how far they can go. We
mm,
got till December, and then they came right back down and went into the negative. So I'm like, sticking to your rules, even though someone said it. I listened to the playback from last week. It's like sticking to your rules just because it hits 100 and then you see it run up to 130 or 150. You didn't lose no money. Like that's the whole goal. Is you didn't lose no money. You still hit your target. So kind of reinforcing that. So just kind of getting back to the discipline and getting back to my trading Bible and sticking to that kind of no matter what's going on. So just reinforcing that.
Man, that's amazing. That's amazing, brother. Glad you just said that. What about you?
um, yeah, I mean, I think just seeing I think particularly today, just being intentional about managing your emotions and just, I think mentally, just going back to where we were in April and remembering how you executed then, and remembering that, I mean, ultimately, this is what we want, right? I mean, this is what we want to, this is when we want to get in. Um, and then when we get to these points, everybody can say they want to pull back, but once we get one, what are you doing once it gets here? You know?
Exactly.
Yeah, I
Exactly.
felt like this week was like I texted you, Nate, a huge like learning step. Just
Yeah,
being able to kind of see my growth just individually, like with the time span from this summer to now, being able to kind of like do this shit like a video game, you know what I mean? Like it's like the back of your hand, when you playing so much, you playing hoops or whatever you're doing day in and day out, like you get the reps in, you get comfortable with it, and you get the confidence. So that's like one part that was like been real cool this week, but also the real patience that we had to have
Hmm.
like the whole week, because just like you were talking about, Monday no play, Tuesday no play, but we knew something was coming and we kept talking about it before it happened. So we was ready. And so like I think that's the biggest thing because I've tried joining groups in the past and they were up to 50%. And so I'm not even making the plays because I don't necessarily trust like their process. And I feel like
Mm,
our process, like right here, what we doing is real and it's applicable to our lives, our lifestyles, like you said.
nah, facts. Facts. And that's why I told y'all yesterday, if you wasn't able to get on that call yesterday, I'm so mad it wasn't able to get recorded because that call, that emergency call
That was fire.
it was fire, bro.
Yeah, fill us in. What's a couple points from that?
Really, I was kind of just talking about just my makeup of when I was on Wall Street and how I was able to put information together, right?
Okay.
Associating stuff that I don't know was stuff that I do know, and that was the segment that I was about to get into right now, with me hooping, right? And me coming from the inner city, being around, the stuff that go on in the inner city. If I've been around this my whole life, how can I make this make sense and tie it to the market? Right. So when it comes to being patient and taking the best shot, I'm like, that's just like hoops where I don't got to come down and force a shot. But if I run it through the offense, I'll take my time. I don't force it. I'll always get the best shot every single time. And that was kind of something small that I was able to tie to that. And that was something small that I was able to tie to, just the inner city stuff that be going on in the hood and stuff like that, where having money to the side for the re-up, right? Having money for if we were to go deeper, right? Deeper down, if we were to go, if we were to bleed some more, right? That's a street term where you never run out of the re-up money. You run out of the re-up money, you screw. Because what happens if somebody step on your gas? What if somebody step on your dope? What if they put some pesticides on your dope and now you don't got no dope, but you put all your money into this? Now you really cook. That's why it's a balance of having both, right? And that's something that I learned through that I'm able to tie into the market now, where makes you ask, should I grab an SMR call today? And I'm like, man, we don't put in 5, 6 plays. For me personally, I'm gonna sit on the side. I'm gonna wait because I done put a lot of money in today where I still got a whole stash waiting if we were to fall some more. And that is why I'm saying don't put all your money into the stocks. Don't put all your money into the dope. Have some money on the side waiting for the next re-up, right? So that was kind of some of the stuff we was talking about on the call, just how to tie those things together, bro. We talked about it right when we got on that breaking news, they just said that the US is blocking NVIDIA's chips again. Crazy, bro. Crazy. Breaking news. The United States is blocking NVIDIA's chip shipments to China. Was, you know, I was doing some research yesterday, and Jensen actually said they are like almost like 99% to 100% out of China's market anyway. I don't know if y'all seen that, where he was talking that whoever made the policy for us not to ship chips to China is making a mistake. And he said, as of right now, we are 99% out of China's market. And that is why Jensen is so big on, yo, we need to get in control of who are the next builders for the next generation. We need to have control over every market. If we don't have control over every market, there's going to be another country like China that controls that market. And that is what he's afraid of. And he said it today or yesterday. I don't know if y'all seen that Jensen said that China is going to win the AI race. Did y'all see that?
Yeah, I
I
was
saw
gonna ask if you thought that's why the US just did this, where they blocked the chips again.
I saw
He,
that, and then he tried to like save it with another
Yeah,
quote.
he
Did you
tried to
see
walk it
that?
back.
yep, I seen that. But one thing we know about Trump is that he don't take those little comments lightly, right?
Hmm.
Look, his whole goal is make America great again, make
Hmm.
America the best. When you say China is gonna beat us or something, okay, cool. Okay, breaking news. Even if you want to go ship your chips over there again, it's blocked. It's over with. Now you're gonna have to come talk to me. Now you're gonna have to kiss the ring again to figure this out. The scary thing about that, bro, is that he said they don't have no chips in China, and these guys are still a $5 trillion company. Bro,
Crazy.
that is scary, dog.
Wow.
That's scary, bro. How do you get to 5 trillion when you got the second largest country not even being a customer for your products? So what happens when they eventually get this figured out over the next couple of months or the next year that China and NVIDIA can get on the same page? What do they go to 6 trillion, 7 trillion? And since we're talking about trillions, I know y'all seen Elon,
Saw that.
that
Yes,
payment,
sir.
that
Hmm.
payment package where the shareholders just approved of his
Yeah.
plan. Once they get to I think it was like, what was it, like 10 to 15 trillion or something like that?
It was 8.5 trillion.
8.5 trillion. Once the company's valuation gets to 8.5 trillion, Elon will have surpassed $1 trillion himself.
Wow.
One man with $1 trillion, bro.
Bro, audacity to even say they're going to 8.5 is even crazy.
Mm.
And I told y'all, hey, I'm gonna send y'all this video later. Y'all know who Kevin O'Leary is? He was on Shark Tank. You know,
Mhm.
Shark Tank, the white dude, kind
Yeah.
of bald in the middle with the
Mr.
little
Wonderful.
shot. You know what I mean? He did a video, an interview, and I think Alante has sent me the link where he was talking about who are the best CEOs and the makeup of becoming the best entrepreneur. And he talked about the signal to noise ratio. I please, if y'all listening to this, I know some of y'all got your cameras off. Please get this last segment that I'm about to talk about. He talked about the signal to noise ratio. Has anybody ever heard of the signal to noise ratio?
Mm-mm.
The signal to noise ratio is meaning that whatever you have to get done over the next 72 hours is the signal. Stand focused on the signal, right? Whatever is distracting you from getting what you need to get done is called the noise. You follow me? So he said, who's had the best signal to noise ratio out of all the CEOs and entrepreneurs that he's ever seen was Steve Jobs. He said he had an 80 to 20 signal to noise ratio, where
Mm.
out of 72 hours, 80% of everything that he needs to get done with the business, with onboarding, with the kids, with groceries, with whatever he needs to do inside of his company, the ecosystem, everything. He gets 80% of it done in 72 hours. The 20% that he doesn't get done are like little distractions, like going to get food, going to do this, going to do that. The 80 to 20%. He said there's only one other person that he's ever seen in his life that has a better ratio than Steve Jobs. Y'all know who it was?
Jensen.
He said Elon Musk.
Mm.
He said Elon has 100 to 0 signal to noise ratio.
Jesus.
He said Elon is he's the type that will lock himself in his building or his bathroom until he builds a company from scratch.
That's crazy.
He said he has no noise, and he said you can tell that he has no noise because of how awkward he is when he associates with people. Have y'all
Mm.
peeped that when Elon be in the room, like he be on camera, or he talk like he's so awkward because he's never had to really deal with friends or
Mm.
hang out with people or associate in that way. He's always been laser focused. Bro, it makes sense that you were able to build a company in the rocket space. Bro, you're building rockets, bro.
Mm.
Going to the moon, bro. Not only did you do that, you're building chips that you can put in people's brains.
Mm.
Not only that, you're building vehicles that drive themselves, bro. I know it sounds normal now. You're building a vehicle that drives itself. Dog, that's not normal.
Mm.
That's not normal. And for you to have all of this done, and then you to get approved for a $15 or $8.5 million $1 trillion valuation for you to get $1 trillion, bro. He said Elon has 100 to 0 noise ratio or signal to noise ratio. And once I watched the video, I asked myself, how can I incorporate this into my life? And you know what's crazy? Since InvestFest, I have been
Mm.
like 80, 90% signal. My noise ratio has shrunk down so much, bro, where we were able to build the ecosystem since InvestFest, bro. Built the ecosystem, built the platform, get a commercial shot, get everybody onboarded, get everybody in tune. Not only get everybody in tune, get everybody in the plays, get everybody making money. Bro, that is laser focus, dog. Laser focus. And that is my goal where I'm like, yo, how can I shrink the noise and expand the signal?
Mm.
Can I focus on what I need to get done by shrinking all the distractions? Right? What they say, feed your goals, starve your distractions.
Mhm.
feed your goals, starve your distractions. Right? And so that's why I feel like not only is Elon getting to 1 trillion, bro, I think Elon is gonna be one of them ones that are gonna be in the history books.
Mm.
He's gonna be one of those CEOs that they talk about for a very long time, where it's gonna be a myth when he's gone. They can be like, he was putting chips in people's brains, building autonomous vehicles, building rockets, and he was putting satellites in the sky.
Mm.
Nah, no way. No way. And so, and then not only that, he had a big hand in OpenAI. We knew about that. When him and Sam Altman getting into it, he had a big help in that. And then he bought Twitter. Like, bro, this man, you can't do all of that and have a social life.
Mm.
You can't do all of that and have a social life. And that's kind of where I'm at too, where it's like, bro, you got to ask yourself, do I really want this life that I'm going after? Or do I want to have this social life too? And then you have your people that's like, there has to be a balance where that's true. But sometimes, bro, like you either going after all your goals with all in or you're not, bro. And Nipsey said that all in, bro. Like I'm all in, like I'm going after it all, bro. You gotta think, you go after everything you want over a year, 2 years, 3 years, bro, you're gonna be able to live like a king for the rest of your life.
Mm.
Sacrifice 2, 3 years, you're gonna be able to live like a king for the rest of your life. Follow me? So that was just the news that was kind of coming out. We about to break down some charts here in a second. I also want y'all to understand news trumps everything. I'm gonna say this every week, bro. News trumps everything. You can have the greatest support line. You can have the greatest resistance line. I said this last time. I'm gonna say it every week. News trumps everything. We said NVIDIA 190. It gets to 190. News comes out today that they're blocking their chips again. And now, what if some more news comes out? Bro, it rips through all the support lines. That's what they don't tell you when they're cutting up charts. People try to tell you just focus on the charts, focus on the support, focus on the resistance. No, you can have the best you can have the best technicals, evaluations on your chart, all that. If some bad news comes out, just like April 8th, it's gonna rip through everything that you put in your chart, bro. So yes, it's good to understand the chart, but it's also understand the news better. Follow me? So that's why I say CNBC in the morning. I showed y'all, go on CNBC. I'm gonna show you again in a second. Go on CNBC in the morning. Every single day, you should be clicking top 5 things to know this morning. It's gonna give you the 5 main things that everybody around the world is talking about. If you know those 5 main things, you're beating out 90% of traders every single day. You're beating out 90% of traders every day because you know what's going on in the world. You know we got CPI this morning. You know we got PPI this morning. You know we got job report this morning. You know Jerome Powell might cut rates this morning. If you're not paying attention to the news, you won't know any of that. You won't know any of that, right? So, yeah, government shutdown, bro. It's gonna get solved. Uh, People thinking, oh, like it's over with. No, it's gonna get solved. Who knows when it's gonna get solved? We don't know. Trump can wake up in the morning and say, you know what? I have been doing too much. Let's get this solved. Let's have a conversation. I'm gonna have a conversation with the government or the Democrats myself, and we'll figure it out. We don't know when it's gonna happen. All we can worry about is controlling what we can control, right? And that was something that I learned in hoops too. Control what you can control. Can't control the coach is mad at me or whatever. I control how much effort I put in. I can control how I execute. That's the same thing with this, bro. So, like today, everybody executed on some plays, man. Most of our levels got hit. We waiting on Palantir to get hit. It was $9 away. Palantir touched 207. I got a price at 165. 207 to 165. That's a big drop, but that's where I got my number at, bro. 165. It closed at like 175, 176, 177 today. I think it can get down there. $10 more. We'll load up on Palantir. Um, Microsoft, 492. I feel like I had a initial target at 502, 505, but I think it can get 492, right? News trumps everything. Government shutdown, no data. It can go further down, bro. So on the plays, I'm glad we execute on that. Government shutdown. And now let me show you these charts, bro. Let me show you these charts. Have y'all been seeing my Instagram when I post the charts and stuff? Y'all been able to follow along with that? Has that been
Yep.
making
Yeah,
Yeah.
Chris.
Yeah.
has that been cool? Continue to do that, or what y'all thinking? Give me some
Yeah,
feedback.
definitely continue.
Yeah, definitely keep that going.
Okay,
For sure.
got you. Giving you my thoughts, giving you what I'm seeing. Okay, let's get to these charts now. Let's get to these charts now. All right. SPX, man. Man, we've been cutting this joint up for a
Mhm.
week now, haven't we?
Mhm.
SPX, bro. Look at it. So last week, like I said, man, we was here, and then we got in no man's land this week, bro. We got in no man's land. And man, give it up for yourself, bro, for being patient, bro.
Mhm.
Being patient. I know Monday suck, Tuesday suck, Wednesday suck. It's like, bro, we're not even able to put no plays in. But what are we doing? Bro, the patient man always wins. That what they say, the turtle won the race in the end, bro. Rabbit got to tweaking off, bro. So look at this. My SPX levels, we got stuck here today. Or not today, yesterday. And then what happened? They gave us a fake out, bro. This is what you call a pump and dump. And it actually was building some shoulders here. Y'all see that head and shoulders up here?
Mhm.
Let me see if I can put that on here real quick. Let me see. Yeah, okay, cool. Doing this in real time. Actually, let me see if I can get a line. Vertical line. Dang, where my lines at? Trend line. There we go. Boom, head. That's a shoulder. And what it built yesterday? Another shoulder. And so if you really want to get good at charting, man, the first thing I did, I went on YouTube and I was asking myself, how do I learn these patterns? How do I see it? Right? And what is that showing me? Up here, it's showing me the head of a body. Y'all see that? The head of a body. It's showing me a shoulder where the head is, and then it showed me another shoulder. Whenever you see this setup, it is a recipe to go lower. It is a recipe to go lower. We sat patient. When in reality, when it broke above 68.20 here, I was like, dang, we might be headed back to the upside. I was like, we might be headed back to the upside unless it breaks through. And at the end of the day, like 3:50, 3:55 p.m., the market just sold off a little bit. It sold off and it closed here. See that? And it closed off here. And then we woke up today and the market came down and closed that gap that we was looking for. Closed that gap we was looking for. And I'm going to stress it again. I'm going to keep saying it, bro. Buying anywhere down here, anywhere in this area, is way better than buying at all-time highs in this area. Imagine all the people that was buying at 6,800, 6,850, almost at 6,900. They are literally underwater right now. They are literally underwater right now, right? Y'all hearing me? They're literally underwater. So look at this. It's November though. I want y'all to see that this can bleed a little bit more, right? It can, well, sure, we can go down to what's that? 65, 66, 6,600, right? It's a possibility. Anything can happen in the market, bro. My only thing is, it's November. November is historically one of the best months of the year. We got good news this morning. They confirmed that we're getting another rate cut.
Mm.
They confirmed it this morning. We get another rate cut in December. We always get a Christmas rally. So we got a Christmas rally, and we got another rate cut, and we are in a prime position where we're way off of the highs. 69, was that 69.20, all the way down to 6,700. We're in a good situation now where if we were to go back up from here, I wouldn't be surprised. Right? And remember, it's not just going to be people come in and buy. We're going to have some news. That's why I say Trump is so theatrical, bro. It's so like him to come out and say, you know what, the government shutdown's over, and now the market just flies back up. It's so like him, bro. Tariff stuff happened. You know what? I'm gonna take the tariffs off. The market go back up. You know, I'm saving the market. I'm saving us. I'm saving I'm saving America. I'm making America look great again. That is the reason why we executed today, right? That is the reason why we executed today. It hit our levels. Guys, I told you, be fearful when others are greedy, and be greedy when others are fearful. Everyone is scared right now. When everyone is scared, you should be slowly coming in, buying up everything. And I said this earlier in the chat as well. When they come in, they gonna come in. They're not about to come in and it's gonna be a slow little buy back to no, they're gonna come in and they're gonna buy everything up and you're gonna miss it. They're gonna come in and buy everything up and you're gonna miss it. That is why I would rather be early to the party than too late. If you're too late, you missed it. You're early, you still got there in a good enough time. Just don't miss the wave up, right? So that is what we got on SPX. Let me show you on Hood what I seen as well today. Let me see. Oh, let me show you Oracle. I want to go over Oracle real quick. Oh, I want to go over Oracle real quick. Look at Oracle, bro. And this is the one I broke down on my Instagram story. When they announced that deal, Oracle and OpenAI and NVDA, and they was all making jokes that Oracle sending money to NVIDIA, and then NVIDIA sending money to OpenAI, and then OpenAI is sending it right back to Oracle, and they just putting money in the circle. When they announced that was September 9th, bro. September 9th, we shot up from 237 to 346. $100 move. We know Oracle isn't going anywhere. And we know Oracle is going to be one of the companies that puts the United States government to the next level, bro. And just our chip sector, just our AI sector, just our tech sector. Oracle is going to be one of the leaders, right? And so with that being said, yes, it's the company that we should own, but we should not buy it at all-time highs. I was waiting for this to come down and fill this gap. Today, it filled the gap. We executed perfectly at this green line. It came down and touched a little bit, and we shot back up. I would not be surprised if Oracle goes back to the upside. All right. But I always put worst case scenario. You always have to do worst case scenario. And if you see the numbers that I put in actually 221 on Oracle on a price target. If you go look at the numbers, I put in 221. I put in 221 because I still seen two gaps here, right? I still seen two gaps here. It can go back down there, right? It can go back down there, but I will say they have been waiting for this gap to close. Larry Ellison is one of Trump's best friends. Going from a $1 trillion company, multiple $1 trillion company, and losing all of that over a month or two, I think Larry has, did his suffering after he got that big win. And that's kind of usually how it happens. After you get a big win, you got to go through your L's, got to go through your bleeding, losing that money in the company, losing this, losing this. And then when it's time for you to go back up, it's time for you to go back up. So that's why we executed Oracle today. I know we got that out to January, 241. I think Oracle can get back 345 in a month or two, bro. I think Oracle can move back up $100. They're one of the leaders in the cloud space. They're one of the big dogs. They're one of the big dogs. Larry Ellison is one of Trump's best friends. I'm gonna keep saying it. Never gonna let your man's fail, especially in your position. You never let your man's fail, ever. So Oracle, and then the last one I want to show y'all, NVDA. Look at this NVIDIA, bro. Look at NVIDIA. Same here. NVIDIA touches, what's that, 213 up there? 213. 213 was not the time to buy. 200 was not the time to buy. 190 is when I had my point. It can go down and touch 183 tomorrow. It could. Anything can happen, bro. Or it could shoot back to the upside. Anything can happen. But I just want y'all to see what I'm seeing on the chart, right? I seen these candlesticks here. What's that at? It's at 193, right? So that means from that gap all the way up, it came down and got back to that base level here. Let me show you that. Came back and got to that base level here. Once it crossed that base level, I seen there was a gap here that I think it was going to get, and then there was another gap, right? So in this range of 190, in between this range, was that 184 to 193, anywhere in there is a good buy for me, bro. NVIDIA is one of the top dogs and one of the leaders. I don't even have to talk about NVIDIA. We know about NVIDIA. From 180.84 back to 212, that's like a 30-point move, bro. That's almost a 30-point move. 184 back to 213, that's a 29-point move. 230 or yeah, 230. Yep. 19-point move, 19 to 30-point move, bro. That's perfect for us, bro. That's perfect for us. So NVIDIA as well. And then the last company I bought shares of today, Double R. Cost $3.72, y'all. In a robotic space. Robotic space, right? Definitely taking a gamble. Definitely taking a gamble. But I feel like in the robotic space, I think they're next to go. They're next to go. And we can go over the balance sheet. We can go over the income statement. They're not profitable right now, but this is the company where, like I said, it's a gamble. It's a risk, right? They are in the robotic space. After the chip space is done, I feel like robotics is next. After robotics, I think it's going to be quantum.
Mhm.
I think it's going to go like that. Chips, robotics, quantum. Chips, robotics, quantum. Or chips, quantum, robotics. Whatever it is, I think robotics is set to go. $3.72. It could drop down to, what's that, 277. It could. It could drop down there. But I feel like this going back to the upside is very likely. And right, when you get companies like this at $3.72, you don't need this to go from $3 to $100. $3.72 to $7. You just got 100% on your money, right? And I'm also playing with this company because I know there are different investors. There are people with a lot of capital to invest, and then there are people that with not so much capital to invest at the moment, right? So I want to make sure I'm putting in plays that are suitable for everybody, right? If you got $3.72, what happens if we lose the $3? It don't hurt us. But what happens if we win? What happens if the robotics company actually takes off? Now you done made a good assessment, you done made a good analysis, and you playing with your budget, right? So that's another reason why I put that in today, and I grabbed more shares of SMR. Hey, Malcolm, what's going on with gold, my dog? What's going on with gold, bro? Been looking at gold as well. Listen, when stocks go down, gold is supposed to go up. It's always been a hedge. Always been a hedge. But lately, when stocks been going down, gold been going down too. So we gonna play that. We gonna keep that on our watch list, and we gonna watch that. We gonna watch that for sure. But other than that, is there any other charts or any companies that y'all wanted me to cut up?
You think you can do a hood?
Yeah, I got you, brother. Hood, let's get to it. That Nigel, did you get in hood today?
Yeah, I got in at 8:30.
8:30. Bought it at 8:30?
Yep.
Got you. Go look at hood. Let's see here. Where we got that high at? And make sure y'all as well, make sure y'all going on YouTube. I put the links in there in the ecosystem where y'all can find these charts and y'all can work on support and resistance yourself, right? Y'all can look at this stuff yourself. Y'all can see, okay, here's the high and here's the low. Look at this. So here we have hood. I was seeing on this. Look at this. So I had a price target at 128. Look at that. Price target at 128. Came down and hit 128. So we can go lower, right? Anything is possible, right? We got a gap down here at 102. It can go down to $100. But I will say, Hood is a company that they are growing at levels that I didn't think a brokerage company could grow at, right? And the reason why I didn't think about it is because they're adding things into the app that most brokerage firms don't have. Charles Schwab, Fidelity, Vanguard, you can't bet on games, elections, and just making your different bets about anything in the world. What that does is you've created a casino type vibe. Everybody wants to go to the casino. So instead of me going down to the casino physically, I can get on Robinhood and bet on who's gonna win the election. Bro, you can bet on anything. You can bet on if the murderer of Charlie Kirk would get found. You can bet on anything. You can bet on, is Trump gonna say the government we're not on government shutdown no more tomorrow, or is he gonna say it next week? You can bet on anything. What that does is you bring in all types of money to your platform that have never been there before. Not even all types of money. You're bringing different accounts over. Everybody wants to gamble. Well, not everybody. 90% of people want to gamble. Everybody wants to risk money to make some money, bro. And so Hood, I think, man, this company can go to like 175, bro. I think this company can go to 175. They crossed over their 50-day moving average here. What's that at 141? And then they just crossed over their 100-day at 127. Yep, 128. And that's kind of where I had that line at 127, 128. So I wouldn't be surprised if we shoot back up to the upside either. I also wouldn't be surprised if we come down and touch, what's that? First, we can go down to, we can go down to 121. We can drop another $6 tomorrow. We can drop another $6 tomorrow. It's definitely a possibility. We can drop another $6, or we can push that past that and drop to 111. Anything can happen in the market. But like I say, buying it here at 128 is way better than buying it at 153. I'd rather you buy it in this area, anywhere in here, rather than grabbing up here at 153 above the 150s. Right? And like I say, put the game on your side, bro. Buy time, buy it on deep red days, and make sure the strike is not too far out. Make sure it's not too far out. Make sure the strike is somewhere reasonable that it's been before. Somewhere that it can get to before your expiration date. Don't buy if hood is at 128, don't buy a $200 strike price and you give yourself 60 days. First off, it's never been at 200. Secondly, that's a lot of money and a lot of risk that you putting in, bro. You giving yourself 60 days for a company to move at $80? Hood don't even move like that. Right? So that's hood. Any other charts y'all want to see? We good.
How you feel about SMR?
SMR, we're just talking about them. Let me see. Where they at? And man, now said he was up 100%. Got greedy, huh?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You said you was up how much? 110%?
130, 130.
And why didn't you sell? You said
I think just looking at the expiration date, I was like, we got another month. It was a 12/19 expiration. I was like, we got some more room to run on it. So I was like, but the thing is, I was like, all right, I got two. I could have sold one, and that was what I was like, you could have. That was the kind of the play. You could sell one and let the other one run, and then either way, you playing with house money. And then that's when I'm like, all right, stick to the playbook.
stick to the playbook, man. Well, and the good thing about it, you know now though. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You know now. SMR nuclear company, bro. I don't know why they've been selling off. They just had another good deal that came out. They just said that they're gonna be using SMR nuclear new scalar energy to power, all of this stuff on the grid. Um, but I still like SMR, bro. I actually love SMR. I'm glad we are in a energy play, right? Them, Oklo, and VST, these energy plays, I feel like they're going to be the ones that they have a moat where you can't get rid of this company or you can't get rid of this industry, this sector. You're going to need nuclear energy to power all this. Can't just use regular energy anymore. You're going to need something that's super powerful on some nuclear type to power everything that's going on. So with SMR, I feel like we can go down to 3142 tomorrow. We can go down to 3142, and I definitely feel like people are gonna buy up at 3142. If you can tell, this has been a good support line here, and I can see it popping back up. Yeah, I grabbed more today. And it came down some more. I had that price target at 34. It fell past 34, and it can go down to, like I said, 31. Like I said, as long as you're not buying up here at 57, 58, and you're buying it lower down here in this area, you're putting yourself in the best situation possible. You're putting yourself in the best situation possible. I will say, when this does come back up, when we get in out of our first play that we put into, I think it was to January. Yep, to January. When this comes up, I probably will be taking that one out that we put in, right? Because it's done came back from so much. Y'all follow me? So by the time it gets back from 31 and it bounces all the way back up to, 45 in that 50 range, I'll probably be taking that one off. I got some more today. I'll probably keep those ones that I put in or the recent ones over the past week or two that we put in. But the first one that we put in, I definitely probably be taking profit or when I break even, or even if I'm down 10%, 20%, I'll be taking that one off the table just so I can get that cash back. I know it's been through a lot. You know what I mean? And that's why I feel like it's important, to keep that mindset. And it's important to keep that cash to the side. Never run out of chip. That's what they say. Never run out of chip for the dips. When it's dipping, you want to have money so you can buy up. Follow me? DJ, that's cool? That's some more?
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, bro.
All right, brother. Any other charts before we get off of there? All right, going once. Going twice. All right, yeah. So last thing I wanted to talk about really is um new ecosystem, y'all. We're gonna I've been working on a new ecosystem. I know I've been hearing what y'all been saying about the comments, the chat. Yeah, I done called Notion. I didn't talk to them. I didn't email their service team. Man, yeah, I've been working on a couple other platforms as well. Been testing them out. It looks like we might be migrating over though. It's a better server. It's easier to talk. It's similar to it looked like Instagram.
Mm.
It looked like Instagram. It got a chat. It got posts. You can DM each other privately, talk to each other privately that you meet inside of the ecosystem. Um, but yeah, just roll with me on that right now. Just deal with the chat just a little bit. Just keep your notifications on when we put plays in. Keys that asked me last week when I put plays in, make sure I update the trading log immediately. The trading log is updated immediately every single time I put a play in now. So if you don't get it in the chat, you can go check the trading log and scroll through that tab to find the plays.
Hey Nate, quick question. Is there a way for us to get a notification once it hits the trading log?
Yep, I can actually put a comment section on that and say, hey, trading log updated on that page as well.
Mm.
Is that cool?
Mhm.
Gotcha. And let me just show y'all this real quick, just for the people that were still getting a little confused on where to find stuff. Y'all see my screen?
Yep.
Come on. Load up for me, brother. Come on, my brother. Let me see what the futures is doing right now. Probably tanking like crazy. Shut the planes. They got shut the planes down.
Mhm.
Bro, like you in bro, Trump in the way, bro. He in the
Yeah.
way. Like move around, my dog.
Mhm.
Nate,
Pretty
have
much
you ever traded futures?
flat.
You said where, brother?
Have you ever traded futures?
Nah, I have not.
Or
Only thing I've traded other than Bitcoin and stocks is Forex. It's just foreign exchange, just currency pairs and gold. But when it comes to futures, nah, I have not, brother. And I feel like I'm gonna graduate to there soon. But one thing about me, I like to master one thing I'm on before I move to the next thing. Y'all follow me? I don't like to have too much going on. Come on, man. What's up with the notion? See, this I'm telling you, they finna lose some customers. They're gonna be sick.
Mhm.
Goodness, bro. Notion. Notion. Oh, okay, bet. Here we go. So yeah, main page. Yeah, see this on here. And then for the people, like I said, that are new,
Mhm.
that are seeing this for the first time, once you come here, once you get in your main, this is what it looked like on the computer. Same setup on the phone in a way. But once you come to that main screen, you're gonna hit this drop down over here. This drop down over here. On this drop down, the first thing we got up is the chat, right? Last thing I said, we own. And this is what I was talking about the replies that I've been asking. I'm like, yo, can we get this figured out? They're just like, hey, we can get back to you. We haven't really done this yet. And this is what I was talking about the scrolling, seeing what we've been talking about from the weeks, and responding to each other, right? I know it get annoying that you got to keep scrolling down. But like I said, I've been working on some other platforms. Just rock out with me, bro. You know what I mean? Just rock out with me, stay down with me,
Sure.
you know? Just trying to build it out the right way. This our first time doing this together. You feel me? So, give me that grace. You know what I mean? We're gonna get it figured out. And so then the second thing for beginners, like I said, if you beginner, I got these YouTube videos in here for for you. And guys, for y'all that are already on here that got friends and homies that are hitting me up trying to get into the ecosystem, and my boy hit me, my guy Malcolm, or I'm trying to lock in. Um, the first thing that you should be directing them to do is go to the beginners page. Like I told y'all yesterday, take that stress off of yourself where you don't have to explain all of this. I've done this for them for a reason, so you don't have to explain anything. First thing they should be understanding is the terms, right? And opening your brokerage account, getting money moved in, beginners expanded. I tell you what companies to buy first. VOOVUG, right? Just so you can get in the game, right? Then we got the traders. Then we got the trading log here, and I'll put that comment up here when I update this. It'll notify y'all. Content calendar, been getting that updated. AI prompt library. Look at this. Last one I updated. Make sure y'all going to look at this. Trying to make sure I'm diversifying my portfolio. Book takeaways. I'm about to update my last one I just read today. I finally just finished this Money Master the Game by Tony Robbins. I finished that today. Event notes, inner circle calls. If you miss a call, like this call, I'm going to put it in this tab where you can go back and look. You'll be able to click the link and go back and look. Archive combos. If you want to catch up on everything we talked about from the first week when we started the ecosystem, you can come back here, click on here, and it'll take you from the first week to the second week to the third week to this week. You can go get caught up on everything. And then the scouting reports. Every week I do what I'm looking at, what companies I'm looking in to buy. What companies I'm looking in to buy. See that? I'm trying to see if did I have on here? Take away. See. Yup. Got them on here. So that's how you go find that. So with that being said, man, that's everything. Anybody got any last thoughts, any last words of advice for everybody on here before we get out of here?
Just proud of y'all for
Hey,
executing.
1%. Oh God, 1% every day, man.
Like,
Sure.
Keep going up.
yes, sir, my brothers. Yes, sir, my brothers. Well, if that's everything, man, y'all have a good night, man. And yo, we back in the chat. We gonna see how this market play out. I'm just glad we execute on everything, all right?
Sir.
Yes, sir, family. Y'all boys have a good one, man.
All right, y'all. Y'all be
Sir,
safe, man.
Be safe, y'all.
That's all, boys.
Sure, Nate. Appreciate you, family.
Absolutely, brother.